Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Hello there.
Two-man Zoom.
That means the meeting goes on forever.
Yeah. I was looking, the last time that happened was actually no, it didn't even work that way, because last time it was just two people, it was No Time to Die. But Matty was on the first part, so he'd start a new meeting anyway. But yeah, that was the
Didn't
last
he
time.
stay and sit and listen though?
No, I
Well, I
remember,
thought
I remember
something
distinctly. I remember distinctly. We finished talking about Spectre and Skyfall, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay." It was like, well, "It's gonna be spoiled there. It's quite a big film. Do you want it to be spoiled?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, fair enough. I'll just log off."
Fair enough.
Didn't even care that I was gonna spoil it for him. I just didn't want him to be there because I don't really like him. But
What I do need to do though,
well,
cancel my movie trial.
oh yeah.
That's
How long is
probably
the
like
trial? A month?
7 days, I'm pretty sure.
7 days? Shame.
Yeah.
They'll send you. They'll
I'm
send you an
pretty
offer
sure.
though. So start of last year, they sent me an offer £1 for 3 months. Then
Really?
again in August or September, they sent me the same offer, £1 for 3 months. Then Amazon, because obviously you can do like subscriptions within Amazon.
That's what I did.
Oh yeah, they sent me. Amazon sent me that 99p a month for 3 months. Then during that like thing, Mubi then offered me the £1 for 3 months again. So that's what I've got that again. Started from like mid-January.
Oh, shame.
So I've got another 3 months for £1. I
Just
feel
keep
it's
getting
gonna keep
offered 3 months
yeah,
for a pound.
they keep offering me it. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. Because I probably would pay for it full price, to be honest. Just because there's a lot of
How much is it full price?
£10. I think it's £6 a month with student, I think.
That's not too bad. I don't think I'll put. Yeah, I don't know.
It's annoying though, because it's I'm pretty sure the student price per month is the same as if you paid it all up front. Just the normal subscription. If you paid that all up front for the year, it would work out the same as the student price per month.
Is there not an option for a student to pay? A full
Nah.
price?
So the only benefit of
Oh.
student is it's the same price, but the benefit is you can pay it monthly. But it would be nice if you could just pay the student yearly and have an extra discount. So yeah, a bit annoying.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I also didn't realize on Letterboxd I've only discovered the ability to say that you can watch a film without rating it. I don't know how this didn't occur to me before.
Yeah, you just click watch, don't you?
Yeah. So because I never wanted to rate films that I hadn't just watched.
Yeah.
Like I just
You
want,
know
I
what,
only wanted,
I wish, because when I first got Letterboxd, I didn't know you could do that either. So when I first got Letterboxd, I went and rated those of old films I watched,
yeah,
which is annoying because I want to do the same.
yeah. Because I don't want to rate it, because even though I might have an idea of what I think of it, it might be completely different if I just watched it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how they didn't see this watch option. So I don't even know what clicked in my brain the other day. I was just looking at it, it's like, no, because I used to see when I'd see other users, I'd see they'd say it said like they'd seen it but hadn't rated it, and I'd always like look at it and be like, why do you not give it a rating? Why are you being annoying? just give it a rating. I didn't understand. So the other day it's like, oh, you can just say you've seen it, so at least you can tick it off like a list.
I think I did that like anyway with like, I think I watched like Journey to the Center of the Earth like last year. And I was like, I'm not gonna rate this. It's like a kid's film. It's not like it's not meant to be good. I'm not gonna rate it. So I'll just put watched.
To be fair, watching the Jackass films, it's like impossible to rate. Like almost you can't compare it. It's like I had the first one 3 stars. Basically what I've realized, I watched the second one in the background and that was better. It's hard to sit there for 90 minutes and watch it, but having it on in the background whilst I was doing something else. So your eye gets attracted to some of the better pranks or sketches or whatever.
It was just suddenly see like Johnny Knoxville fall off a building or something.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
I think the best one was the last one in Jackass 2. The whole thing with him get kidnapped by the taxi driver. Like he pretends to be a terrorist in the back of the taxi, and then the taxi driver. But then it turns out it's like a double prank. So he was trying to prank the taxi driver. Then the taxi driver's an actor, who then like puts him in his boot. He has a gun. He puts him in his boot, and then you just hear like his microphone. He's like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die when he's in the boot." And then they're all just laughing. With the taxi drivers just like go around in circles to make it look like he's driving away. That was the last one. That was probably the best one out of the 2 films I watched.
That's really funny, like double crossing someone.
Yeah, double pranks I think are the best. It works on multiple levels. But yeah, I gotta watch. I seen the only one I had seen was Bad Grandpa, so I need to watch the 3rd one. Then I watch the 4th.
They come off Netflix for free. They come off Netflix today.
Are you serious?
But yeah, the 31st. Because I watched 3.5. Whatever's on Netflix, 3.5 definitely comes off. Like it said, 31st the last day to watch it. So
that'd be annoying if free because I watched the first one on Now TV, which expires for me in like 2 days.
I'm gonna have it right now, actually.
That'd be quite annoying. I was planning to watch the 3rd one at some point this week, and then the 4th one comes out on Friday. I'll probably watch it on Saturday.
It's free. Talk about Bruno. I need to watch Encanto.
Have you
Seen it?
Have you listened to the soundtrack?
I've heard that song because it's in the charts.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we talk about Bruno's. We don't talk about Bruno's number 1.
What the hell? Why? It's been out for ages, hasn't it?
Well, it was number 1 like the other week. I don't know if it still is, but it's just taking ages to load. I can't bother to.
I liked Encanto.
You know, Mason watched Parallel Mothers, so he could have done this.
Where is he now? Is he home?
Well, we watched it today. I watched it with him and the only, and then I said, "Oh, you gonna come on the podcast and talk about it?" He's like, "No." And I was like, "What?" And it's like, "I'm going to bed." I was like, "Sick."
It's only 9 o'clock.
At that point, we were going to do it at 8 as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mason.
I watched
dedication.
I watched Drive My Car the other day. I feel like you definitely have to watch that in the cinema, not for the cinematicness of it, but because it's 3 hours. But it's free. It's not like 3 hours like Casino's 3 hours or Wolf of Wall Street's 3 hours, where like it's entertaining, fast paced, a lot of stuff going on. It's 3 hours and it's very quiet and very still for that 3 hours. It was so quiet, like, and I was because I struggle to stay awake a lot of the time in the cinema. That's why I need to eat like sweets or drink something to make sure I stay awake, especially if it's late or if I haven't had much sleep the night before, or if it's early in the morning as well, or if it's after work or something. So I watched this. Yeah. It was a 3-hour film, so it's going to finish at like 10:30. And I could feel myself. There's one point where I started to doze off, and I needed to start like eat. I bought sweets with me or crisps and stuff. I needed to have some, or even get my drink out. But it was so quiet. I don't like making noise at all.
Yeah.
So I usually you just wait for like a moment where like a song plays or something, or there's like a bit more loudness. So then you could just go. I could go. Zip, zip, open it. Let's start eating. There was just literally no moment of the whole 3 hours where I had the chance to do it. So I was just like, I reached down to my bag gradually, like I tried to unopen it, try to find where the sweets are. It was underneath my tablet. I was like, fuck, I can't take the tablet out and get it and everything. So it's like, fuck, I'm just gonna have to try to stay awake otherwise. Luckily, I managed to do it, and it was good.
I hate like feeling myself fall asleep in the cinema. I get so annoyed at myself, and for fuck's sake.
Yeah. It's so weird. You don't realize you're sitting there. It's like, oh fuck, my eyes were closed for the last 30 seconds.
Yeah. But it's when you wake up, you're like, you sort of like pop up. I think I fell asleep for like, because I've never fallen asleep like properly. I've only ever fallen asleep for like 5 minutes. But I fell asleep for like 5 minutes during Eternals. But you get so confused, like fuck.
What? The funniest one is when I watched Aquaman, when Watford Cineworld opens. It was like the big like gala event, and I sat. Because I was just by myself. I sat because they put like they had free popcorn and free bottles of water on every seat, because obviously it's like this proper like prestige event or whatever. But there was literally no one sitting on the right hand side of the cinema, so I went and sat over there so I could be by myself. Then I fell asleep during that. Then at the end of the film, someone came up to me and was like, "You're right," because I must have been doing that thing. I must have been doing that thing repeatedly, where like you're falling asleep, then waking up and you're like jolted in your seat. They came up to me like, "You're right." I was like, "Oh yeah."
Someone just look like a cat doing a hairball. And
Yeah. I thought it was 40x. I'm just moving.
Only your chair.
Yeah. Other than that, I know I fell asleep in No Time to Die as well, but I don't think I did it in this jolting. I just fell asleep for 8 minutes or whatever it was. That's probably longer actually. I can't remember. I think I said on the podcast how long it was. And then tried to follow the plot after. I read the Wikipedia and it was fine.
Oh yeah. Wikipedia always helps. Just look at the plot. That's one of the only good thing Wikipedia is good for.
It's good. I always a lot of time I will look at the plot for Wikipedia. If it's like anything that's remotely confusing. So just to like clarify certain things. But then it's interesting when say again.
Have you ever accidentally read too far though?
Not on a film, like a new film. Like maybe something I'd seen before but didn't remember everything. And then I've read too far. And it's like, oh yeah, that does happen. But that's kind of annoying, but not too bad.
Yeah. No, I do that as well actually.
And it's funny if you interpreted something that happened in the film different to what they've put as in the plot summary. I can't think of an example.
I think I did with Volva actually. I had to look at the plot. Because I got confused with like the dynamic of the family.
Yeah.
But then I got it.
There's one thing about Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. We'll talk about it on that in the thing.
Yeah.
There's one bit in the it was that ending in the Wikipedia plot summary. I was like, oh, I don't know if I agree with that emotion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
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 You know, I've been recording this whole time, so this is the intro.
All of it.
Yeah. I don't think it's been that long.
You can probably hear me eating as well.
Yeah, it's funny.
Right, I'm almost finished. It's like ASMR, wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Probably really disgusting.
I also had a funny idea the other day. If like as a sketch, where it's like this guy who confuses his reality shows, and it's like you swap Dragon's Den and Take Me Out. So a guy thinks he's going on Take Me Out. He actually goes on Dragon's Den, but does the whole Take Me Out. But it's like, hello, dragons. I'm Leon and I'm from Welling. And vice versa. You go Take Me Out. It's like, hello, ladies. I'm Leon. Like, I'll offer you 5% stake in my business for £50,000. Yeah.
Have you been watching The Apprentice?
Yeah.
There's not many good candidates this year.
Who do I? Yeah, I don't.
All the guys are dead.
I can't think of someone who's been impressive. Who's actually been good? No one's been good. They've just been like kind of all right.
I can't tell who's gonna win. I mean, there'll be. I think there'll be only like one guy, maybe none in the final.
I kind of like the girl. I can't remember her name. She's like mixed race. She was project manager on one of the tasks. She went. She went home sick. She went home sick last week.
Yeah, I don't like her.
Why?
Because when she was PM, I think in the first week she was really annoying.
I can barely remember now. What task was that?
First week. No, that was the second week. The first week. What was the first week task in The Apprentice?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Since then, I know I've liked her. I've liked her vibe. I don't know.
She's been alright since then. No, but the worst one was the other day. Not the most recent episode. The one the week before.
That with the woman.
Yeah, the woman who brought the two guys into the boardroom.
Yeah, when she was silent when he asked why had you been in the back, and she was silent. Have you seen that clip? She was silent for like 10 seconds. It's like both. Her face is just so weird at that moment. It's like she froze. It's like that meme. I've seen that meme with that kid in school. It's like my guy froze. He hasn't moved for 20.
He's like
he hasn't moved for 30 minutes or something. Someone said that about Edu, Arsenal's director of football. Like, my guy froze. He hasn't moved for 31 days.
Someone tweeted earlier about Man United. What were they like? Don't bother tweeting the Glazers and John Murto lads. They're out with the Chinese.
My guy froze.
My guy froze. It's so like.
All right. There might be enough of that. It's probably the longest introduction, but it's good. It's good. It's good content. All right, the head-to-head. Pedro Almodovar. Oh fuck! I fucked up his name already. Pedro Almodovar week, doing his new film as the main review, and in the head-to-head doing "Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down" versus Volver. It's weird because "Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down" is the English title, but Volver's Spanish title. They didn't do this to the English one, but yeah, I don't know how that works. Maybe yeah, I don't know. "Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down." An unbalanced but alluring former mental patient takes a porn star prisoner in the hopes of convincing her to marry him. Former porn star as well. She was an actress now, not a porn star. Ross, what did you think as your first experience of an Almodovar film? Did you watch Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down first? I don't know. Maybe not. But either way, whatever. What did you think? What did you think? Oh yeah, so forget that. Forget that quick. We'll edit it in post. No, we won't. What did you think of Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down?
Yeah, I did like it. It was it's obviously a very odd story, and I think it's one of the ones where you're not sure where it's gonna go, which is why it kind of keeps you interested. And I do like that. I think obviously it's a bit odd, and I can't like kind of work out in my mind what like the message of this story is. I can't like kind of figure it out, and I've been thinking about it, and I can't really like come to a conclusion. But apart from that, I did enjoy it because, as I say, it does kind of like not keep you on the edge of your seat, but like kind of keep you guessing where is this going to go, what's going to happen. And I think there's some good performances in there as well. So yeah, I think overall pretty good film. I think
it ticks all the boxes for what I like about this director. He's right. This is the nice thing. I've been into movies for a few years now. Starting to have filmmakers that I like. Start being able to see their films in cinema, like Licorice Pizza, come out this month. It's probably going to be my favorite film of the year. I'd be surprised if anything beats it. Obviously, Tarantino a couple of years ago should get Scorsese, even though Scorsese's releasing on Apple TV, should get that in cinemas as well, one of the local cinemas. But yeah, Almodovar. Don't even know where I was going with that. That was weird. Completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. The reason I like it, the stuff I like about his films, is fucked up romances at certain points, some mad sexual content, the inclusion of like the movie industry within his films in some way. Here you get a literal movie set, and kind of the themes within the movie, the kind of the themes of the film within the film resonate with the actual story. And it's kind of, and even on like a meta way in terms of like the genre, like you say, like, it's kind of a confusing film, and you don't know, it could be a thriller, it's part of a comedy. It's a bit of the thing I do like about it, it's like a kind of like a fucked up rom-com. There's like horror elements, and they talk about that about the film within a film. Like, we don't really know if this is a horror or a comedy kind of thing, and that kind of applies to the actual film that Almodovar made. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It's been nice as well. I watched a lot of all his films last year. It's the first time I've rewatched some of them, and this one definitely held up on second viewing. Not obviously, I didn't have the surprise element, knew where the story was going. But yeah, it's an interesting one. All right. Volver. After her death, a mother returns to her hometown in order to fix the situations she couldn't resolve during her life. I don't like the grammar in these synopses. Fix the situations. This is a weird phrase. What do you think of Volver? So this was your first experience of Almodovar. Yeah. What did you think of it first time around, of this strange filmmaker?
So I think I preferred this one as well, to be honest. I think it's because of all the kind of, there's a lot of twists and turns within the story, but it's not like over dramatized, which I like. I think this one's really well written as well. And I think that's kind of the strength of this one, and the story of how this one kind of, it doesn't play out as like in the same way as like Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down is like a kind of surprise, I guess, but it's more of like a heartwarming family film. I kind of like it's like I kind of thought it was like a Game of Thrones, but in like a Spanish drama with all like the murder and incest and stuff. So that was it's kind of like that, but it's like not overly dramatized, which is good, and as I say, really well written. So yeah, I did enjoy it, and I think I really like Penelope Cruz as well. There's something about her is nice to watch. Isn't it?
It's funny, like you with the plot. If you just describe the plot, it sounds like it could be a really bad film if it's done in a different way. Like they're like a mother coming back as what you like initially think that she's a ghost. I forgot about that rewatching it, that she wasn't actually a ghost, that she was just she just came back. I was living in the house after burning down the restaurant or whatever. She locked her husband and her lover in. But yeah, it could, if you break down the plot, it could be quite bad, a lot of the different elements. But this is, yeah, I guess a more mature film than Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. Obviously, Penelope Cruz got nominated for an Oscar for this, and this, if it was an English language film, it might have been in contention for more Oscars that year. It's very, I guess it's uplifting, good family film, like you say. I like how, I just like seeing all these women working together in a nice way, and all the different women in different situations are given the same level of respect. Like you have like the prostitute who's helping out with the drinks, and she helps, obviously without knowing, bury the body and everything like that. They're all kind of like on equal terms. And even like that scene, it seems kind of unrealistic. But when she's first gonna open the restaurant to cater for the film crew, and she's trying to like gather food, just walking down the street, it's like, oh, you're right. You got any cookies? You got any meat I can have? I can buy it off you. I'll give you the money tomorrow. Like you might just do it and just going, I'm in Welling, just walking down the street. I need some food to do a catering job. Just like, oh, can I get this from you? And I'll give you the money here. Da, da, da. That kind of thing. But I just like seeing them all work together. There's something satisfying about it. And yeah, and just the way it plays out with the murder of the husband by the little girl or the boyfriend or whatever. And you think that would be like the whole film. And like in a normal, if you do this in a normal way, it's like, okay, the murder happens, then we're trying to cover it up for most of the film. But it's like murder happens, then it's like boom, he's in a freezer, and now I'm gonna just try to do this job in the restaurant, and we just forget about the dead body that's there for like most of the rest of the film. We don't really need to think about it anymore. So something interesting about that. But yeah, Volver, good stuff. Categories, performances. You said you liked a bit of Penelope Cruz. I like a bit of Penelope Cruz. This Parallel Mothers, obviously going to talk about her as well. I do. I like her. I guess what I like her in Vicky Cristina Barcelona, which is what she won Best Supporting Actress for. I was about to say I prefer her when she's in her native language, but then Vicky Cristina Barcelona, like there's a bit of English, but also quite a lot of Spanish as well in there. But yeah, I think overall, I think most actors you'll find that they would just be better, like Mads Mikkelsen as well. I would talk about him in Beloved, Another Round. Like they are able to just get across more personality when they're speaking in the language they're born with. Well, you're not born with a language. Don't know why I said that. Native language. Yeah, as you'd expect. Yeah, other than her and Volver, any other supporting performances across the two films, or the leads in Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, that could make this a bit more competitive, or is Volver leaning it for you in terms of getting the vote?
It's quite a tough one, this one, because I think solid performances all round, to be honest. I mean, I think you got Penelope Cruz obviously involved there with her sister and her daughter, and all three of those performances are pretty solid. And obviously the mum is, I think she puts in a good performance as well. But then Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down is mainly about, you've got two leading actors, and it's pretty much all about them two. And they give like I mean, the sister's obviously quite a big part as well, but yeah, I think it's mainly them two for this one, and I think those two to put in really solid performances as well. I don't think I've seen Antonio Banderas in anything apart from like voicing Puss in Boots, to be honest. So it was nice to see him act. And obviously, I think because they're all Spanish, we haven't heard of a lot of other people. So it's nice to see some people I haven't seen before. But yeah, it's really hard to pick, and it's hard to go with the strength of the two leads in Tie Me Up, or kind of the all round in Volver, I think. But I think I'll go with Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, because of the strength of the two leads in it. Although yeah, it was really close, and I do think all round Volver has a better cast.
I feel like Volver feels like it's better just because it's obviously more dramatic, like it's more of a drama than the first one is like a dark comedy. Whereas this is more of a drama, so you have more like weighty emotional scenes, like her, like Penelope Cruz reuniting with her mum, and then Agostina, I like the way I say in that accent. Agostina, she has cancer, and all the scenes like when she goes on the TV show and decides not to reveal the secrets on TV, and then when she reunites with or gets back, the mum decides to look after her, like she did for the aunt, like she did at the end, she decides to look after her. That's that scene as well. When Augustina thinks that she's a ghost. There's a lot of more like heavy, like emotional scenes, whereas Time Me Down is a lot more visceral, it's like moving quickly scene to scene. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's hard to compare. Just realized there's only two of us. So what happens if I do go Volver?
I don't know. It's a tie.
I gotta go with Volver. It's a tie me up, tie me down. I gotta go with. gotta go with Volver. Is Leone there?
Just give them both 1 point, and whoever collects the most points at the end wins.
Oh yeah, could do that actually. Fine. That's okay. It's been decided. All right, story. Story. Again, it's just the two contrasting genres of films that is affecting how I'm trying to assess this right now. Because Volver, there's more. It's like you say, it's better written just because it's more detailed. Like because he's Almodovar's striving for something different in that film than he is with the dark black romantic comedy fucked up thing that he's going for in Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. Whereas Volver, there's a lot more going on. Like there's more interesting themes, like ones we've already talked about, and then like sisterhood. Like you have Penelope Cruz and her sister. Kind of they have their relationship allows them to get through some of the tragedy they've gone through and not having their mum and dad or whatever. Whereas you have Augustina, who's estranged from her sister, like the one who's like seems like you don't actually meet her. Yeah, we don't meet her. We just hear about her being a bit of a bitch. She's on this TV show. She kind of just wants like a good story. She wants the fame or stuff. So she's not there to support Agostina even when she's got cancer. So yeah, there's more like heavy stuff going on there. Better right. So for that reason, I'm gonna go with Volver. Although Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down is just very fun is the wrong word. Maybe. I mean, it is fun. It's not as fun when he's like punching her. That's a bit tough to sit through that. But over time, the fucked up nature of it is fun in like a twisted way. But yeah, I'm gonna go for Volver for story. What about you?
Yeah, I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head there. I mean, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down is more like a fun experience. It's hard to explain what it actually is.
If you say it's fun, you sound like you sound like a fucking dickhead. Like,
like what's it called? Stockholm syndrome, where you fall in love.
Yeah.
That's like basically it's about that.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that then. We can talk about that. But the ending of Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. And Wikipedia, the plot's like, she smiles with happiness. I wasn't sure if it wasn't like.
I thought it was like she was like regretting it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was like a graduate kind of ending.
Graduate,
yeah. Like she kind of like walking around, like, hold on, did I really want this, or did I just spend a lot of time with him and felt a bit sorry?
Are you okay at the end?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, same.
Because I thought that because part of the other idea of the film was like a satire, is like they're like I think it's like taking a bit of a shot at like marriage. Sometimes when people just get married for like out of convenience, like maybe if you just have a kid, maybe lesser today, but I guess like 30 years ago, it's like if you have a kid with someone, you're probably just gonna get married just because that's what you do, even if there's not really any like love there. It's just like you just need to do that. So it's just kind of like poking fun at that idea, like just because you're kind of just with someone just because you're with them, rather than there being like proper love going on. That's what that would mean. The ending would, that would be more of a sad ending, like a sad expression of face, like, oh yeah, maybe I don't actually want this relationship after all. I mean, that's what I thought. It sounds like we agree. I think that's interesting there.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what I thought. A kind of graduate kind of ending. Yeah.
So who's getting your vote?
I think Volver, just because as I say, Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down is more of like an experience, and it's like I could like just say right now, he captures her and she ends up falling in love with him. And that's kind of it. Well, that's not it, but in a nutshell, that's kind of what happens. Whereas Volva is like, I can't even really explain why. Like, there's the mum, and there's the sister, and then there's the daughter, and then there's the cousin and whatnot, and everyone's doing stuff, and the mum comes back, and so much going on, but it's all kind of all that goes on, but it's written well enough for you to understand it completely and actually be really indulged within this story. So I think, yeah, Volver has to get the vote for story.
And it's still fun as well. That's the other thing about Volver.
Yeah.
Like Time Out Now is the comedy, but Volver, there's still a lot of funny moments. Like the whole everything with the mum, like trying to hide, and her being like a Russian and all that kind of stuff. When they're Penelope Cruz is in the room with her, and they were like creasing about how she used to fart, that kind of thing. And then the mum's creasing as well. It's like, oh no, cover her mouth. Yeah, it's all good stuff. All right, Volver. So it's 2-1 up now because we've changed the way we do this because there's only 2 of us. But has there ever been 2 of us on a head-to-head? No, I don't think so.
I think there has.
There must have been. Yeah.
We did it the James Gunn week.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even there. Wait, I wasn't there. That's funny. Okay. Visual style. I got this kind of encroaches on the what I went for with the unique category, which is kind of similar to visual style, but not. It's like part of the visual. But yeah, visual style. I don't have a tremendous amount to say other than Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, in that famous sex scene, probably my famous sex scene in cinematic history, because that was really controversial as well. It was one of the films that led, because there was I think it was the X rating in America, in like their old rating system, that basically meant like it was porn pretty much, and if you got an X rating, that was like gonna destroy your film in America. So that kind of influenced them doing NC-17 or whatever. It's like, yeah, this isn't actually porn, it's just got like a graphic sex scene within like an otherwise not normal film, but a acceptable film that doesn't deserve something as extreme as an X rating. But yeah, that sex scene is elite. And then you get the towards the end, the shot of like the is it like not a chandelier, like in the ceiling, the thing where you see like them, their reflection in something in the ceiling, some chandelier type thing, whatever. So you see like them projected 5 times through there. Other than that, I do just like, but in both of these films, I'd like we talked about like when the films that show like European cities in a nice way. Like we talked about that one in Bruges. There's something about like the cobbled streets and where I think they're like the outskirts of Madrid. I don't know if that's in both of the films or not. Yeah, there's something appealing about that. You get to see a bit of the streets in both of the films, but Volver as well. The wind, the kind of the theme of the wind as well. I guess I don't know how that ties in with the actual themes of the movie. Like, I don't know, winds of change. I don't know, some bullshit. I haven't really thought about it, but I just do like the aesthetic of the wind, like the way the film opens with her laboring in these extreme Madrid winds. So yeah. Visual style, I'm gonna go and I'll go for Volver still, whatever. I don't feel strongly about it, but I'm gonna go for it. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't feel particularly strong about it either, because there's not loads going on in either of them. I think with Volver you kind of get the edge with the kind of cobbled streets and whatnot, and I think the kind of small town environment, it's almost like one of them films where the city is kind of part of the story and is like almost a character itself, because it's so like it keeps everyone close knit and everyone knows each other there and stuff as well. That's why she can kind of walk down the street and be like, oh, you got some pork, okay, I'll cook that. And I think that like it kind of I do like the kind of look of the old, say like the old cobblestone streets and their little restaurant, and where they go to bury the body, that kind of stuff. They've got all that in there, so I think that gives Volver an edge in that place, because I don't think Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down has too much going for it really. Apart from that, I do like the ending of that though, the kind of burnt down city, or like knockdown excuse me, the knockdown city that and Antonio Banderas' character goes up to where his parents used to live. But yeah, I'll go with Volver.
I feel like some of the lighting on the mum in Volver, I like as well. Like to make her kind of look like a ghost at certain points, like look more angelic than than she actually is, to like fool you into thinking that she actually is a ghost and not just a real murderer, which is what she is. She's a murderer. Should be in prison. That's why we were laughing. Should be in prison. But killed 2 people. But that's none of my business. Well, I do like that. I forgot to talk about that. I do like the idea of like these women getting away with crimes against men who are, if not evil, but well, they are evil. Yeah, I don't know what that is. If not evil, like so, the dad knocked up his daughter, raped her, and then the Penelope Cruz's boyfriend tries to get with not his biological daughter, but in effect his daughter, and if not, still like a minor, and like she can murder him, and then it just gets resolved without any consequences. I like that as like a juxtaposition to obviously got like the Mason Greenwood thing going on and loads of other cases. I think it's like one in 60 sexual assault or rape cases or rape charges actually, or rape cases actually result in a charge or something like that. Something ridiculous, like people when they don't get believed. So it's like, a lot of like people, men in, not even men, well, that's not even men in high profile positions, but that's something you would see, men in high profile positions being able to get away with crimes against women and just move on with their lives. But then it even happens with
just a lot to do with like you need the evidence and stuff, but it's hard to get evidence of that, like because a lot of people don't come forward with it until like months later as well. So it's even harder. And
so I thought that was a cool thing and
bad system.
I thought that was a cool thing involved to like juxtapose that. It's like, so the daughter murdered her quote unquote dad, and so he shouldn't murder people, but he definitely had it coming. He was trying to attack this young girl, and they're able to just kind of move on with it, resolve the situation by the end, bury the body. They can get on with their lives. Likewise, I guess it's not as strong with the old mum burning down the dad and his lover, because like nothing really happened to her. It was her daughter who was abused and knocked up by her dad. So nothing actually happened to the mum, but still, my point stands. Whatever. Fuck you. I like that. Where was I? Tone. Kind of talked about this. Always happens. You kind of encroach on the different characters as you go along, but Tone, it's a fucked up comedy thing going on in Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. That's quote unquote fun, as we've discussed controversially. And Volvaire's managed to take a lot more. It's like a melodrama, but it remains an enjoyable ride. Some strong character work, nice themes. Just a nice movie, even though there's some real dark shit going on within it. At the same, I guess both films are pretty dark. If you think about it. Volvaire, maybe Volvaire's even more dark. It's just not as overt with it, because she gave
on screen as much.
Yeah. But Tone, I'm going for Volvaire. I just really like this film. We watching both. I was like, I really enjoy both of these films because I basically picked them because when I watched a load of his films, these were the 2 that I enjoyed the most, and found that to be the case once more. But Volvaire, in particularly, kind of based on the stuff we've talked about, and the tone is a big part of that. It's a effective melodrama. It's kind of a ghost story at certain points. You think it still manages to be funny, and there's some dark themes going on that they managed to embed within the film without make it like a dreary, depressing ride. You don't feel that way come the end. So I think that's a real achievement. So Volvaire will get my vote for Tone. Where are you?
Yeah, it is hard to pick because as you say, they're both very fucked up, like on the surface. If you just read the story and like looked at the plot, you'd think they're both really fucked up. And I think Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down is more like fucked up on screen, but Volvaire's probably more fucked up with like everything that's gone on, what's happened and stuff. So but he does a really good job at making them not, I mean, the story-wise, it is fucked up, but when you're watching it at the time, you're not thinking that it's just fucked up until you think about it afterwards. It's hard to explain because it's weird saying that like you enjoy a film where these moments happen, but these films are enjoyable. And I think Almodovar. Almodovar. does really well kind of dealing with these stories and getting them across like this. So yeah, it's hard to pick. Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down is it's I think it's very hard to pull off kind of like a dark comedy and make it like a fucked up situation like into a comedy and make certain aspects comedic. So I think that's harder to do in that aspect, but kind of the overall feeling of Voltaire where there's so much fucked up stuff going on that happens, what she tells him is fucked up. There's murder, there's incest, rape, but like it's like that, but you don't think about that as much as more of like a kind of not comforting, but like a nicer kind of family close-knit vibe for the film. And I think that's what it focuses on in Voltaire, and it brings kind of the tone. It's a better tone to Voltaire. So yeah, I think Voltaire gets my vote as well.
Oh, that was annoying. That was my soundbar turning off. So Voltaire is clearly in the lead now. But now, my unique one, because I think another hallmark of Almodovar is how he uses color in a lot of his films, or bright, multicolored aesthetics going on. So that kind of links in with the visual style. And I do like, particularly in Voltaire, both films, all of his films, pretty much, you get that sense. But Voltaire, I found it to be most striking. Even in like a few examples, like the thing it does with the flash of red. I think that's it's just before the dad is killed by the daughter. It's like a flash of red on the screen. And you don't, if when you watch it first time, you wouldn't know what's going on, what this is relating to. It's just Penelope Cruz life, and she's coming back on the bus at that point, maybe, or she's doing something. And like a flash of red, it's like, oh fuck, something gone down. Then you have the daughter come and meet her and drag her inside, and the big dramatic moment is revealed. But yeah, just broadly, the look of his films are just really cool. And I think you mentioned the like when he goes to bury, when they bury the body, they bury the freezer with the body in it. Quite funny to see the freezer just in the hole like that. So it's like there's no body in there. They just hate that freezer. Had to take him out. Yeah, the way that's shot as well, the red light, it's all good stuff. So I enjoy the color involved there. That's the unique category. What would you give a point to for this one?
I mean, they're both quite like, there's a lot of kind of reds and oranges and stuff going on in both of these, which yeah, I think studying film, you learn that that means about like love, but also is like represents blood and stuff. And I think with like both of these films, it's that's why they do it, because of like what red represents. So I think they both do it in that aspect, but I think is more relevant within Time Me Up, Time Me Down, and when they're in the room and stuff, and there's lots of kind of the kind of reds and oranges going on, the brighter colors and stuff mixed in with these kind of dingier settings. I think they use that really well, and kind of the like the apartment in Time Me Up, Time Me Down, that kind of stuff. And so then they go onto this balcony, there's those like flowers and stuff, and it's like a nice outside world. I don't really know. It's and going to like the square at night, and it's all really dark. Yeah, I think Time Me Up, Time Me Down would get that one for me.
Which would mean 5 points for Voltaire and 2 for Time Me Up, Time Me Down, in this weird way that we've apportioned the points, this inconsistent way of apportioning the points. But still, Voltaire was the winner. And we sound like what's that? One of the Apprentice candidates, the one she did like color. She said she studied color. Something color strategics. I don't even know what she was talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was or what something like that. I can't remember what task it was in relation to and why it was relevant. Oh no, it's the toothbrush. It was to do with the toothbrush, I think. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Like I studied.
I think something like that.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it could be anything else. But it's like I studied color, and this means this and this that. Yeah. That's
what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's annoying when you can't remember specific things from The Apprentice.
It's not the cocktail.
Was it?
Oh, I can't remember. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, no, I feel like it was further, because Cocktail was only 2 weeks. I feel like it was further back. I don't know.
No, I can't remember.
Oh, good podcasting. So yeah, Voltaire wins the head-to-head. All right. Game. I've got.
Game.
Did you prepare anything? Because I've got something.
Nah, I haven't.
I've thought just do Mini Driver,
Oh yeah.
and I did earlier on. Here's some I made earlier. I did the actor generator to find
You
free
only do you want to play the game?
Mini Driver. What?
Mini Driver. Let's go. We'll have to do something else next week though.
So yeah, I drew the actors out the hat. Some funny combinations. But yeah, we haven't said. First of all, it's called Mini Driver. We haven't even said that on air.
Oh yeah, we put the rules in the chat. We didn't say anything.
Mini Driver is just because was it you didn't know who she was? Or was it Matt you didn't know who she was?
I didn't know who she was.
Yeah, see, so I thought it was funny. That was part of the podcast last week. It's like you didn't know who she was, and then it was like, I don't know. Matty said something that made it funny, so I was like, yeah, let's just name that the game. It'll be funny. It'll just be a funny thing to do. She's on Graham Norton. Nah, this Friday, coincidentally. Don't know what she's
Oh,
promoting.
really?
Yeah. It's funny. So I've got Mini Driver rules here on my note, and it could be like, oh, yeah, she rules because she's really good. Mini Driver rules, or it could just be the rules of the game. So you have to establish a chain of links between two actors based on movies they've appeared in. Each movie represents a link in the chain. Yeah. Play with the lowest number of total links after 5 rounds is the winner. We're just going to do 3 rounds today. There's 2 of us. Yeah. Each round is a different pair of actors to link together. 90 seconds in each round, except for the final round, which is 120 seconds. So in this case, we'll do 2 90-second rounds, 120. You get a 10 link penalty if the chain is incomplete. MCU movies count as 2 links. Movies of actors doing voice or motion capture count as 3 links in your chain. Uncredited roles do not count. Only acting roles count. So you can't do like a direct, like Greta Gerwig acting in this, directing in that, whatever. If the starting 2 actors are found to be in the same movie, the round is voided and new actors must be chosen. Already done to it. Although these the actors I did could be in the same movie, I just don't know. I didn't think about it because I don't want to cheat. You never know. I'm pretty sure they're not. But yeah,
Was it what I said the other day about how like Rocket, Bradley Cooper's Rocket, which is animated, which is MCU and it's it's motion capture. So then it's 5 points.
Yeah, we should think of a funny name for that, like the cunt move, wasn't it? The zero link move. If you make a link with a movie starring Mini Driver, hence the name of the game, and you have to identify her as a member of the cast. You can't just like if you said a movie not realizing she's in it, I couldn't be like, oh, that's got Mini Driver in it, so you don't. It's a 0 link move. You actually have to. Whoever's saying the movie has to know that she's in it. Then the link would not be added to the total. E.g., Matt Damon is in Good Will Hunting with Robin Williams. Mini Driver is in Good Will Hunting, so that is a 0 link. Yeah, that's a little quirk we've thrown in there just to spice up the game a bit. So with all that in mind, we'll make a board game of that one day. Really like organize it, and then have loads of different actors on cards and stuff. I reckon it'd be pretty cool. And then just have Mini Driver's face. I wonder if are we allowed to do that? I don't know. Is that copyright issue using her likeness?
Message her, see if she's
yeah. You're right. You're right.
Hi Minnie.
Hi Minnie. When is she married?
What's her real name?
I like that's her
real name Minnie. Her name's Amelia.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh. She married?
Partner, Addison O'Dear.
Oh, she's not married, she's just with some guy.
Yeah, it says partner. I don't know if they're married or not.
He's 10 years younger.
It says fiance.
Oh.
Last year was a year ago. He was her fiance, so I don't know if they're married now or not. But there you go.
So that's the game. Okay. So round 1, are you going to do the timer?
Oh yeah, I'll do the timer.
Probably should get some paper and a pen. Didn't think about
that. Makes sense. Right. I can't bother to put the timer up on the screen, so I'll just tell you when it's.
Yeah, go on. Paper and a pen.
Was it 1 minute 30? Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 rounds of 90 seconds, then the final round. So we're just going to do 3. Final round, 120 seconds.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. So the first what? I don't know what to call this as well. It's the first round. Christopher Lloyd to Nick Frost.
Christopher Lloyd
Christopher Lloyd
to Nick Frost.
to
Okay.
Nick Frost.
It's quite hard.
Yeah.
All right. Go.
All right. It's one of them ones where they're so far apart
Yeah.
that you don't even know what
I
to
feel
start
like
with.
90 seconds ain't enough for this.
So usually in those situations, I just go obvious and try to work my way back some way.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not too clued up on Christopher Lloyd films either.
oh, fuck, I'm already. It's getting bad. Oh,
I can think of Back to the Future.
oh, wait. Here we go. Read. Yeah, okay. This is an interesting route. Let's see how many links this actually works out as.
This is really hard.
Yeah, got it.
It's like two different eras as well. So he has like go backwards to Lincoln.
Yeah. And it's like Nick Frost's not really a Hollywood person.
No. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, fuck, have they? No, wait, I think I fucked it. Oh, no, wait, I don't think they're
There's 15 seconds.
I don't think they're in the same film. Oh, shit. It's, oh, no. Oh, no. Wait,
You fucked it.
they're not in the same
4,
film, are they?
3, 2, 1.
They're not in, nah, they're not in the same film.
Who?
I was doing it from a franchise. They're in the same franchise. And I'm pretty
Who
sure
are you
they
going
don't
with?
they don't actually end up in the same film together. So I went with Christopher Lloyd's in Adam's Family, or Adam's Family Values. Can't remember which one of them. But he's both of them. With Christina Ricci. Christina Ricci's a monster with Charlize. Charlize, I thought she was in a Fast movie with The Rock, but I don't think she is. Because he's not been in it. I don't think he's been in it since Fast 6, and she only joined in Fast 8, isn't it? I think
so.
Yeah, so that's fucked it.
Yeah. He wasn't in that one either.
Yeah, fuck. Oh, fuck. Yeah, so that's completely avoided it. If from there, if that was right, I was going to go from The Rock to Nick Frost in Fighting with My Family, but it's all voided.
Oh yeah.
It's all voided, and that's fucking
That's
fucking
annoying.
10 linker.
Well, I got a 10 linker as well because I was like, oh, Nick Frost is in. Who's like obviously a Simon Pegg, which is the obvious one, but then you would have to find Simon Pegg. I suppose he's in Mission Impossible, isn't he? But I was like, oh, he's Martin Freeman's in Shaun of the Dead. So I was like, I can get Martin Freeman somewhere because I didn't think of thing at the time, Tom Cruise at the time. But I was like, Christopher Lloyd's in I could only think of Nobody in Back to the Future. That's all I could think of. I was like, hang on, the mum from Step Brothers is in Back to the Future 3. But I don't know her name, so I just put mum from Step Brothers. So I don't know if that counts. And I was gonna like link Martin Freeman and the mum from Step Brothers, and I couldn't.
Have you seen Nightmare Alley?
Yeah.
There's Step Brothers' parents reunion. She was in it.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
Richard Jenkins in it. That's what I was thinking about.
Oh,
all right,
never
so
thought of that. They're not the same. Yeah.
yeah, they don't never share a scene though. Sad. Probably didn't even meet each other. Right. So that was the 10 linker. Round 2. Seth MacFarlane.
Oh god. Okay.
Bearing in mind it's only films. To Alfred Molina.
Fucking hell. Okay.
All right.
All right. Go. Fuck me. What the hell is Seth MacFarlane? Who's in that film he made?
And bearing in mind the voice performance roles as well. All right. So we got to get. Oh my days! Something just clicked on an elite level just then. Oh, that was good. Yeah.
He's in that. He's definitely in that. I've put them wrong around though. Unfortunately, I can only think.
And I'm not using any franchises. Oh no, I am using a franchise. Oh shit! Forgot about that rule.
You can use Spider-Man.
Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah.
MCU,
Might
the
have to.
first one.
Might just do that. Yeah, I've got an MCU one. Might just use that and then try to figure something quicker if I can have time. Oh shit! You know what I didn't consider about a rule is like Does the Spider-Man, Sam Raimi Spider-Man count as MCU? I'm going to say no.
Yeah, say no. It's too hard.
There's all this multiverse stuff connecting stuff. That doesn't count in my mind.
No, it's only if it was originally released as an MCU.
Yeah. Probably have to clarify that in the rules there. Otherwise,
Yeah, it's 10 seconds.
some dickheads would be like, "Oh no, it's in the timeline. It's canon." Right, so I have one with an MCU link.
Oh fuck! Time's up.
Okay. So the one with an MCU link, Seth MacFarlane's in Logan Lucky with Adam Driver. Adam Driver's in Silence with Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield, No Way Home with Alfred Molina. So that's 3 links plus MCU makes it 4 links.
Okay, I got to. I was thinking like I can only think of Ted or A Million Ways to Die in the West. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go with Ted because that'll give me extra points. So like, who's in A Million Ways to Die in the West? I was like, Liam Neeson's in that. That'll do. So then I was just trying to think of like, surely I can link Liam Neeson to someone in like the MCU.
Yeah.
Now my mind kind of went on that track, and I was like, I can't think of anything. So I was like, what if who Liam Neeson's in Schindler's List and Ray Fiennes? I was like, surely I can link like Ray Fiennes to someone in the MCU. And that's when the time ran out. Because your mind kind of wanders, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's Mini Driver. That's Mini Driver for you. That's why it's 18 and up. No, it's not.
It's a deadly game.
All right, final round. It's been a toughie. This game with Mini Driver.
Yeah, she has.
And it doesn't get any easier because the final round where you get 120 seconds is Cillian Murphy to Mickey Rourke after last episode's shocking discovery that he used to be a handsome guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. All right, let's go.
All right, 2 minutes for this one. Okay, where to start? Again, I'm just thinking Oh,
he's in the MCU. Okay.
Oh shit. There's got to be so many links because that film's got so many people in it. There's because you can't and fly away. Holiday. Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Don't know even where I'm going with this. I haven't even found like a jumping on point that I'm satisfied with.
I'm gonna have to use MCU. I can't think of any other.
You can't fly away, holiday. I'm just gonna go on a massive tangent and just hope it takes me somewhere because I've wasted too much time. Sometimes that happens in Mini Driver. You've just got to try wrestle the situation back. But it's probably not going to happen.
Okay.
Fuck's sake. No, forget
There's
that. How long?
5 seconds left.
Okay, it's not happening.
Okay. There's 15 seconds left, and I've got something. So that'll do.
Okay.
What links is that? I've kind of written it down with me.
All right. Okay, that's some bullshit.
All right, time's up. Did you use
Right.
MCU?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll do my first. Definitely long. It's definitely longer than yours.
Okay.
So because I was just like, I just went on a random tangent and just hope it led somewhere. Then eventually I was like, okay, fuck it. Let me just try to find MCU and get out of here. All right. So Cillian Murphy to Christian Bale in Batman Begins. Batman Bale to Ryan Gosling in Big Short. Gosling to Emma Stone in Take Your Pick, La La Land. Emma Stone in Easy A with Patricia Clarkson. Patricia Clarkson's in Zodiac with Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.'s in Iron Man 2 with Mickey Rourke. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, mine's a bit shorter than yours. Cillian Murphy is in Inception with Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy is in Venom Let There Be Carnage with Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson's in Two Billboards with Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell's in Iron Man 2 with Mickey Rourke.
Wait, what was the first one again? To Bale.
Cillian Murphy to Tom Hardy in Inception.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Tom
Yeah.
Hardy to in Venom with Woody
Yeah.
Harrelson.
Yeah.
So that was 4 links, but MCU, so 5.
All right. Add up your links.
25.
21. Fairly close in the end.
That was hard, yeah.
That was it. Yeah, that was really interesting. When it was,
It's definitely easier with the extra 30 seconds really helps.
I was basically when I did the random actor generator, it's like as soon as it's 2 actors I know, everyone is aware of what they look like and what their name is. Even if you only know them for 1 or 2 films, like probably like Christopher Lloyd, just go with it and just try to find a way. It made them. Yeah, I think that made for an interesting game, even if it's hard.
Yeah.
All right. Good game of Mini Driver.
A mí me encanta la idea de tener un hijo contigo, Yanis, pero no sé si puedo permitírmelo ahora.
No es cuestión de si podemos permitírnoslo. Es cuestión de que ya está aquí.
Si vuelve aquí no hará sino remover las cosas.
Yo no puedo perder esta oportunidad. Si dejo la compañía no volveré a trabajar nunca más.
Pues vete de gira.
Va a ser muy morena como tú.
Es muy morena.
En caso de duda, la única solución es hacerse una prueba.
Yo no tengo dudas.
Pero yo sí.
Ya, mi amor, ya está.
Cada vez la veo más étnica, ¿eh?
Yo solo me acosté con Arturo.
Pues tú esa de tu padre.
Uy, esos barquillos. El tiempo que hacía que no los veía. Oye, ¿tú has pelado patatas alguna vez?
¿Me estás ofreciendo que trabaje aquí? ¿Y qué tengo que hacer?
Pues cuidar de Cecilia y de la casa. Bueno, yo encantada de fotografiar zapatos y cinturones.
Hija, me da cosa que tú eres demasiada fotógrafa para esto.
Pero necesito trabajar.
Los actores son todos de izquierdas.
¿Y tú de qué eres?
Yo soy apolítica. Mi trabajo es gustarle a todo el mundo.
¿Pero y tu hija dónde está?
No soporto que te la lleves.
¿No pensaste nunca en mí?
Todo el tiempo. Mi amor, yo te quiero mucho, ¿eh?
Tiene rasgos de mi madre.
Main review. Here we are. After 2 older Pedro Almodovar films, here we are with his new film, Parallel Mothers. Saw it today. The story of 2 mothers who give birth the same day. You know, I appreciate that vague synopsis because you don't want to give anything away, really. Just
No.
Yep, that's the launching point. Then a lot of stuff will happen thereafter. Ross, your first impressions? I think you watched it today as well.
Yeah.
Was your first impressions of Parallel Mothers? It's nice and fresh. And rarely do we record on the day of seeing a film, so it's nice and fresh.
Yeah. It was I enjoyed it for the most part, I'd say. I think the story with the 2 mothers, I really enjoyed kind of them 2, their dynamic. The younger one, the younger one did piss me off a bit in the middle where she was getting jealous, but it was kind of part of the story, I guess. But I think all of it, minus the last kind of 15 minutes or so, where they went to the other village, I enjoyed. And I think when it got to that last like kind of 50 minutes, half hour, with kind of like a separate story, which seemed like more of Almodovar kind of making a point rather than it being actually part of the story. So it felt a bit disjointed for me, because there was no kind of real relevance within the kind of overall story about what the film was kind of fundamentally about. So I think that was my only issue with it. But apart from that, kind of the story of the 2 mothers, so like an hour and a half of the 2-hour movie, I actually really enjoyed kind of their dynamic and what went on there, and was really interested to see where it went. So yeah, that was my thoughts.
I think that's interesting. I thought that would come up. I think I'm going to come back to that later because I feel like that's like the biggest like tension in terms of whether this is really good or just good or not. The way that ending plays out at like a different part of the story. I think that's interesting. So I'm gonna come back to that. But yeah, I liked it. I thought there were again a lot of the hallmarks of this director's filmography in terms of the color, in terms of the style, mixing kind of different genres here and there. It's kind of there's kind of bit of horror in terms of the music that he uses at certain points, that when she discovers that she's not the biological mother and everything, and the way that plays out, and kind of a weird psychological dynamic going on, which is actually, it made me feel kind of like really uneasy when they first have sex, like because she knew that that's the mother of her child, but and like she knows that
It made me
she's
very uncomfortable. Yeah.
yeah, it was like this kind of felt like this massive secret's just like in the air, and you guys are getting together, and this young girl, especially because she's so young as well. I'm guessing she's maybe 18 or 19, like very vulnerable, very vulnerable, not a great home life, like a bit of a not neglectful, but a mum who's off kind of aloof doing her own thing. And you're harboring this secret from her, and now you're getting together. So when it first happened, it's like, oh my days. Like, I was thinking about when the secret does, when the secret does come out, this is gonna feel even more fucked up. But yeah, that even though I didn't like that in the moment, it's still a good thing that it provokes that kind of reaction in me, which obviously what he's trying to do with a story like this. So yeah, there's plenty of elements that I thought were pretty effective. I'm not sure if I was expecting the way the story plays out. Like, I guess we could just talk about it now, actually. Like, basically, it feels like the whole plot with the two mothers is like the in-between bit, because the film is like that's like the filling of the sandwich, and because it starts with her trying to sort out this
sandwich.
The grave sandwich, trying to excavate a family grave, which is all interesting stuff I didn't really not familiar with. Like you say, trying to teach us a lesson, which is happy to learn some stuff. I didn't really know about the kind of some of the fallout of the Spanish Civil War and families who are still looking for not justice, but like trying to haven't been able to grieve properly, all that kind of stuff. So the film opens with that, and then also ends with that, and you get this motherly plot in the middle, and it's whether, and that's the bulk of the film, like you say, it's whether that feels relevant to the other side plot, or what feels like a side plot but actually turns out to be the main plot, whether it's relevant, the two things like kind of reconcile with each other, which I think is the interesting thing. Like you said, it didn't really work. I feel like it was a bit of an anticlimax to so you have the secret comes out. It's a very dramatic moment, really good acting from both of them, I think, when Penelope Cruz tells her that she's the mom. She's really dumb, the little kid, in the moment where she's like, so what happened? Did you lose your kid or something? Like, she doesn't realize, no, they got swapped at the hospital, obviously. Well, did you lose your kid?
Said they got swapped as well.
Did you lose your kid? What happened? How did you lose it? Yeah. After you get over that, it's a really effective, emotional moment. And she just kind of quietly takes the kid away, which is all right, goes to her mum's house, and Penelope Cruz is left to cry, and she's throwing up and everything, as you would do. It's like mad, traumatic situation. Because ultimately, that's the interesting thing. It's like, it's not her fault that she was given the wrong kid. Like, what is she going to sue the hospital? We don't see that. Maybe in the sequel.
How does anyone like deal with that situation?
Yeah. Then from that point, like, you wanted to tell the truth, but it's still hard. But you go from that, but then you never see her and so what is the characters are? Anna is the young girl. Penelope Cruz, what's the character called?
It was
Janice. Janice, yeah. You never see Janice and Anna, how they resolve the situation, I couldn't tell, are they a couple? No, they're not. No, she's with the guy. Yeah,
no, she's with the guy. Yeah,
she's with the guy. How do they mend that wound and become friends again? It just kind of skips.
Yeah, because when she gets pregnant again at the end, she's like, "You're having a sister."
Yeah.
And it's like, right.
So it goes from that. We don't see any of that. It just cuts from them having this separation. She does a few other things she gets back with the guy, and then it just goes into the excavation again, and it ends with them, like a really powerful scene, like when they go to the grave and everything. It's really well done, but you don't get the payoff. I guess that's what you'd feel as well. Like you don't get the payoff from the relationship that's developed over the course of the film between Anna and, I forgot her name again, Janice. You don't get the payoff. Like you don't see them. How do they resolve this? Because it's such a mad thing to deal with. Like, and it's very nuanced. Like she's kept a secret, but it's not her fault. And she's really damaged. She's a really damaged person. I guess is that what you were feeling like? Oh, we watched all of this, and now we don't get to see how their friendship like is mended.
Yeah, because you have no idea anything. Because it's kind of they have the argument. That's a really good scene, as you said. Really, the acting's really good. Then she's kind of just like calls her, and it seems like everything's okay. And she's like, "Oh, we need to talk about us, blah blah blah." But they never spoke about them two. You never saw it on screen anyway. That never happened. And they kind of, it seemed like it was resolved by them just kind of being like best friends, but without them. So you never heard them have that conversation. You never saw them resolve anything. It kind of just happened. And she was like out of her mind jealous about her even like going to see someone like like before, but now she's just fine with her being with this guy. But I think then you find out as well it's 3 months on from the story as well. She's like, I'm 3 months pregnant now. It's like I had no idea there was such a huge time jump in that gap as well. So it's kind of like just joint a bit messy within that bit, and kind of the resolution, I think. And that's what, because apart, as I say, like apart from that, I really enjoy the rest of this film and kind of wondering how it's going to play out, wondering what's going to happen. But I think because you never really get nothing, it doesn't play out in any kind of way really, apart from their mates at the end, and she's pregnant again. So I don't, I think it brings it right down for me in that sense. And but no, but I still enjoyed kind of the sandwich, the filling. I enjoyed that, I think. So it's hard to like kind of put a pin on it really.
It's like buying like wholemeal loaf of bread when the bread's really not nice. Or like I didn't realize how much sugar's in bread until my mum bought some bread that didn't have sugar in it, and it was the driest thing I've ever tasted. So it's like maybe it's like that for you. It's like that you still have some nice filling in there, but it's still going to be 2 dry loaves either side. But I was trying to think about why he did that, because obviously that's like a choice that he's made to have those two things, the grave plot be the beginning and the end, and that be the filling. Obviously, he's made that choice. Like he obviously knew that it would he probably would have known it would have frustrated people to not see the resolution between Anna and I keep forgetting Janice.
Janis Joplin.
Janice Ian. He obviously knew that would be annoying to people that you don't get to see what happens after that big dramatic emotional moment. You don't get to see how they repair the damage, how they can resolve things. What kind of presence does Janice have in the baby's life? Does the baby keep the same name? Like, is Anna just like, yes, Cecilia's fine, or is she going to change the name to what it was before? Who knows? So they get to see any of that. So he's made the choice to have this grave plot. So I'm trying to think of why. And I guess maybe it's like the baby wasn't the point of, like, wasn't what Janice needed in this story. It's just kind of a thing that happened that was kind of thrust upon her. Like, first of all, it was an accident to have the kid. Like, she didn't want to have a kid. It was a accidental pregnancy with that guy. And then to add to that, the kid that she did have died, was crib death, that's what they call it. The other kid, and then she raises the other kid and turns out not to be hers. So maybe it's like, that wasn't what she needed. And part of it, I think there's a good quote. She says, like, I didn't want to lose a kid twice.
Because like because obviously the kid, her biological daughter's, was it a daughter or a son? Daughter. Biological daughters died in horrific circumstances, and now the daughter she's been raising for several months or whatever is going to be taken away from her again. And to that, the fact that she's not got a lot of family, like her mum overdosed when she was 5, I think. Can't remember. Her dad was out of the picture, so she's obviously quite lonely in that sense. So this is like
only family that she has. Not with the father either, or who she thought was the father initially, that guy who's now going to be having a kid with her. So it's like, yeah, that's so she's quite a lonely person, missing her family. So this whole plot of excavating the grave so she can grieve the family members she did lose in like a dark period in Spanish history, I guess that was the real goal of the film. So it's important to focus on that. So he brings that back at the end. So that's the only reason I could think of, is like, yeah, this whole dramatic plot in the middle with the baby, which is kind of thrilling at certain points, upsetting at certain points, isn't the point of Janice. The main character isn't her the important journey she needs to go on this film. It's more about this whole thing with the grave and finding some solace and finding some peace, and all the and not just for her, for all the other people who had ancestors, or what, like, do you say ancestors? I think ancestors means like an older thing. It's just people who had relatives in there who suffered. That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, that doesn't, like, even if that is effective or is right or whatever, doesn't when you're just watching the film from an entertainment perspective, that doesn't mean it will work, even if that's like what he was going for. Because ultimately you still will be a bit frustrated that you didn't get the scenes that you wanted after this dramatic moment that you've been building towards when the secret's out. The fact that you don't get more scenes about that afterwards will always leave you a bit cold. Is that kind of where you're at with this film?
Yeah. It's just it just feels neglected. The whole thing just feels neglected. And I think there's the story as well that Anna was she was raped, and that kind of leads nowhere as well. That's just like a scene in the middle that they kind of put in there. I think that's so they can see who the dad was, kind of thing, because I think the baby ends up looking like
the
guy that raped her. I think that's the reason they put that in there, and but that kind of story led nowhere as well, and there was no payoff with that.
I thought that was just like an interesting to throw in there, because it was like similar to talk about what we talk about with Volver, like, because what is it, the dad basically said don't try to press charges because of all that. Basically he's talking about like the publicity that she'd get for trying to go public against this guy, which is like, women. So like the woman who comes out against Mason Greenwood, like, she's even now, even though she has evidence, she's getting abused by people on Instagram or whatever. I guess he's trying to like make that kind of point in there, but yeah, it's only like it's only in there for like 30 seconds, then no explore further. But yeah, so I don't mind just throwing the things in there when it's something like that.
Yeah, I guess so. It's I don't know. It's just kind of, it's more there's just no payoff to like anything, I think, is my problem with it. Like, I guess there's no problem throwing that in there, but I think, like, I don't mind that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, kind of, I think what I meant was like there's no payoff to like anything that happens in the whole story apart from the excavation bit. Everything else, kind of what happens to kind of I can't remember what happens to Anna's life afterwards, what happens to Janice's life afterwards. I mean, open endings aren't bad, but it's kind of anything within the story. Nothing. I don't feel satisfied after watching this, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard to think about. I think usually we have time to kind of settle and think about films, because I literally watched this like I finished watching it like an hour ago. It's kind of harder to think, and I'm kind of thinking of stuff now, and it's kind of annoying me more thinking about it, because the more I think about it, the more I'm like, well, what happened with that then? And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of not ruined the film for me, but made me think about kind of the quality of the film, and like how good a story can actually be if there's no kind of payoff or ending to an arc and nothing. I think what is good about it is you watch kind of Anna grow as a character, but I mean, I think that almost happens kind of between you seeing her after the baby's, when it's first born, and when she comes to Madrid. I think that kind of happens between them, so you don't and then so she gets really jealous in like the middle bit as well. So that's kind of her showing her immaturity in that sense. But I don't know. It's yeah. I'm kind of waffling here, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I'm not really sure how I feel about any of it, really.
Here's one for you. I was thinking about, why did Janice get involved with Anna? Like, what was the motivation there? So when Anna first kisses her, I thought Penelope Cruz is really good in that scene. She's really good in the whole film. She might actually get nominated for this. Sometimes that happens with foreign films. Like, they don't get any nominations, like Volver, but they just throw in a Best Actress nomination in there. But yeah, in that scene, like, I feel like Janice is like, it didn't feel like it was like desire on her face. Like, oh yeah, I've been waiting for this. I'm attracted to you.
Been waiting for this.
You've been waiting for this. If you wait, I knew it. I knew you were bent for him. You've been waiting for this. Yeah, I didn't get the sense that she'd been waiting for this. I was like, oh fuck, what was I even saying now? I didn't get the sense I didn't get the sense that she'd been waiting for this, and this is like something she'd been thinking about for a while. She's attracted to Anna. Let's get things going. It felt more like she like kisses her a few times, and there's like a look of contemplation on her face, like, oh, didn't expect this to happen. This is kind of weird. She's kind of thinking what we're thinking, like, it's a bit fucked up. I'm raising her kid without her knowledge. Bit weird. So in that mode, like, is it like a pity thing? That's what I feel like. That's where I am landed. It's like, out of sympathy, because that might be Anna's first like lesbian experience. We're guessing, or we're assuming. Don't actually know. It's not really. That's the cool thing about Almodovar as well. He's gay himself, but like, he'll just slide that in there without making a big deal about it. It's just like, yeah, they just don't have to be like, oh yeah, she's lesbian now, it's cool. It's just there, whatever, who cares? And so yeah, she might have had some experience in the past, but Janice might just be taking sympathy on her. It's like, this is a really fucked up situation. I'm raising your kid without you knowing. So yeah, I'm just gonna have like a kind of relationship with you to kind of appease you in a way. I don't know. What do you think to that scene? Or do you think Janice generally kind of wanted to be in a relationship with her? Because I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't get that feeling when I was watching it. I was really like cringing. I was like, oh no. You like, I was not, because there's no like romantic tension. I don't feel any romantic tension between them two for any of the rest of the film. I feel like it was more of like a friendship thing the way I saw it. I never felt any of that kind of romance. So it was very surprising. I was really cringing when it was happening, just because I was like, oh no, because of obviously what's going on as well. She's literally got a kid, and you know that at this point. And yeah, it's quite fucked up. And yeah, it's hard to know. Maybe like Penelope Cruz, Janice is because she's lonely as well, and I think she's probably scared of the fact that she might be losing, like, as I say, losing another kid. She might lose Anna when she finds out, and I think like, it's kind of heat in the moment. What do you do? It's like, I've got to keep these people close to me, and because there's kind of there's a lot of mixed emotions going on there, and I think whether she's fancies it or not, I think just to keep things easier, I think as well she'll just go along with it, with like whether she really like kind of desires to or not. But yeah, I think it also did just kind of spice up the story as well, in that sense, in like the end, because it felt really weird when it was happening, but I think looking back on it now, it's not as kind of, it's only weird because of the situation, like then to a fine, I guess. There's not really much, I didn't feel much romantic like chemistry there, but it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. There's probably a lot of mixed emotions going on through Janice's head, and I think that's why it's quite good, because as a viewer, you are cringing, you are kind of like, oh fuck, this is weird, and that's probably what she's thinking as well. And you're like, fucking hell, Anna has no idea what's going on here, but she obviously wants it. But yeah, and I think that's why it's good, because you kind of you and Janice probably share a lot of feelings to that point, so he does good there.
I guess the only hint of romance is when this happens a couple of times, where Anna's sleeping with the baby in the room, and then I think Janice she like bursts in the room one night. Because what happens? She's like shaken a bit. I can't remember why.
That was
Big-
when she first found out, wasn't it?
Maybe, yeah. And like oh yeah, no, maybe it was just because she obviously yeah, this was it. So because obviously she knew that her biological daughter had a crib death. So at that point, and she just found out. I think that was not long after she'd found out about that. So now, yeah, obviously, like you'd wake up in the night to go see your baby. If you knew that happened, it's like, oh, fucking hell, hard to just sleep in the other room or relaxed every night and stuff like that's going down. So yeah, she bursts into the room and then gets into the bed with Anna. And there's kind of a look at Anna's eyes, like, oh, I'm kind of enamored with this person on some level. I still wasn't expecting any kind of romance to go on. Maybe I should have, because it's an Almodovar movie. Probably should have been expecting some kind of passionate scenes to go down eventually. But yeah, for the other relationship in her life, the guy she eventually gets with and who knocks her up initially,
The excavator.
yeah, he's a bit sus, that guy, I think. Like we hear about his wife having cancer. We never see, obviously that we're focused on the two women, so we don't go off and see what's going on with him. It's like, what? So you cheat on your wife who has cancer, knocked her up, and then you're two. Now your conscience kicks in. It's like, oh no, so I can't be with you and the kid because it'll crush my wife who has cancer. So we just got to wait for her. No, she doesn't die. she her cancer's. They get rid of her cancer, isn't it?
So it's something like that. But
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure that'd be even worse if she just I just need to wait for her to die of cancer. Then I can come be with you. Sick. I think she got cured, and then it was like, okay, now I'm divorcing you. I'm going with another woman, and we're gonna have
either she dies and I wait for her to die, or it gets cured and I leave her.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, I thought his whole presence was a bit. Yeah, I thought he was just a bit of a very bad person. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
and it doesn't really. The film's not really interested in his psyche too much. It's just kind of like they just lay out the facts of his situation, and he comes in and out of the story.
What,
like comes
was it
back.
Anna says to Janice at one point? She says like, he's just using you to your emotions for the. I can't remember exactly what it is. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I can't remember
I
either.
what
But I
she
remember,
says, but you kind of think about that a little bit more as well. Whether he's actually that's what his intentions are. In that
Yeah.
sense as well, I guess. Yeah, I don't.
there's a bit of a
Yeah,
dodgy. There's a bit of a dodgy character, really, just on the edge of the story, kind of dipping in and out, and he's obviously relevant because he's leading the excavation. But yeah, I just thought he's a bit of a dodgy guy, and the film didn't really have time or wasn't really the focus of the film to address that character. But yeah, I don't want him to be with Janice. Come the end of the film, having a kid with her.
No,
I'm not.
but she seems like good being a single mum
Yeah.
before as it was. So
Does she say this? Yeah, she says that as well. Yeah, this. I thought I was getting confused with another film. No, she has that quote when she first tells him. Oh, I also like that. Because I also like the way he structures it there.
oh, well, where he walks in the present and it goes into
Yeah.
a flashback.
Because the first because I don't really like this film. It's probably bottom half of his filmography of the ones that I've seen, but I like it. But for the first 10 minutes, I was because it's also weird because it jumps from the excavation stuff to her being pregnant and in the hospital.
Yeah,
and you're
also
kind
I
of
was
like
confused as well because it's a film about two mothers and this excavation stuff was going on. So when it first started, I was like, am I in the right film?
Leone, you're in the wrong film.
Wrong fucking film, mate.
So yeah, the first 10 minutes, I was like, yeah, this is kind of fine. Like, it's pretty well done. I was a tiny bit confused, but I wasn't thinking. I was worried that this wasn't going to be like a great experience with a filmmaker that I really like getting to see one of his films in cinema. I feel like this wasn't very good. Then he did that thing with the structure, yeah, having it flick from present to past and back again or whatever with the door, and that was when I was like, I'm in now. That was pretty cool the way you executed that. It added to the emotion of it all. To go and to do it in that way added to the emotion. Having the scenes back to back like that was a really effective way of doing it. And then you do have that scene where she tells him he's pregnant. He's pregnant. She's pregnant, and he's like, "Oh no, my wife's got cancer. I can't leave her." Da, da, da. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm single. My mum was a single mother. My grandmother was a single mother, and I'll be a good single mother," or something like that. There's another nice quote. Some good dialogue. We brought a few quotes. There's some nice dialogue in this film.
Yeah,
to really think about straight after. But yeah, some good stuff in there. You got any more thoughts on Parallel Mothers? I think that's all I have to say. I think.
That's it really. Just kind of a sandwich with a good filling, but not so good kind of bread, I guess.
So based on this week, would you watch more Almodovar films? If Mubi give you the pound for 3 months, would you make your way through? I think there's after Volver, Time Me Up, Time Me Down, there's another like 9 films on Mubi. Did this week inspire you to go deeper or no?
I think I really enjoyed the 2 head-to-head films, but not so much Parallel Mothers. If there's any 2 other kind of like Volver and Tie Me Up, I think I'd want to watch them, but maybe not kind of the lower tier ones. So yeah, I might have a look, see what kind of ratings. Are there any other films that you liked by him?
I liked pretty much all the
recommend?
ones I've seen. I think Live Flesh, or is it Live Flesh or Live Flesh, whatever. And no, what was the other one called? Broken Embraces, one of my 2 least favorite of the ones that I watched, I think. But I think Talk to Her is like critically, I think that's considered to be maybe his best. I think was that nominated for Best Picture? Maybe it was nominated for Best Screenplay or something. It had like more of a presence at the Oscars. I felt that wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be, but still like really good. So yeah, I feel like that's maybe like the first one to like recommend to watch, I guess, after this. But yeah, I like overall, I just like the kind of themes and the tones that he goes for, like a little color as well. Like I said earlier, it's just like there is something. He takes like films that could be plots that could be quite bad and just overly like
and fucked up,
and even not even that, like just like melodramatic in like a soap opera kind of way. I think that's like a big thing in Spain, soap operas. I think it's like a type of Spanish
I think so,
thing, and it could play out like that, and there's like parts of that, but he makes it work in like a different way, which is I think that's what appeals to me most about him. So yeah, cool guy, cool episode, 2-man Zoom, didn't have to break it up. It's nice, just one straight record the whole way through.
Oh yeah,
works perfectly. But yeah, at Corona Cinema on Instagram, at LeonWaite98 on Twitter, Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, Stitcher, Podbean. Next week, head to head is fashion movies. Speaking of tone, 2 very different tones for fashion movies, but 2 great films. 2 of my favorite films: Devil Wears Prada versus Phantom Thread. Phantom Thread.
That was my idea, by the way. Leon's not taking it again.
Oh yeah. And main review, Marry Me, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Is that next one? Yeah.
J-Lo,
Owen Wilson. It's funny, on the poster, some guy called Maluma. He's on the poster as well.
Who?
I don't know. Might not even be how you pronounce it. He's on the. Maybe I don't know who he is. I haven't even looked up. I don't even want to look it up. It's funnier to not look him up. It's just it's just a massive poster at Cineworld with J-Lo, Owen Wilson, and then some guy called Maluma. I'm like, oh, how did you get his name on the poster? Maybe I don't know. Is he gonna be like the gay best friend? But yeah. So a big splashy rom-com with J-Lo and Owen Wilson. Looking forward to it. Until then, go well.
Cheers.